Rosedale was immortalized in Robert Johnson's 1937 recording, Traveling Riverside Blues. In 1968, Eric Clapton's group, Cream, incorporated the verse "Going Down to Rosedale" into their version of Johnson's Crossroad Blues. Although Johnson's original 1936 version of this song did not mention Rosedale, the town has since become associated with the legend of a blues man selling his soul to the devil at the crossroads. Interesting. Let's go. Good afternoon, good people. This is P9 with another video, and I am here in the city of Rosedale, Mississippi, which is one of two county seats of Bolivar County. Now, Rosedale, Mississippi, its population is less than 2,000, 1,873 to be exact, and it has suffered a population decline since the 2010 census. And Rosedale, unlike Cleveland, is a lot less developed, as you're going to see just in a few minutes. But I'm standing right outside of the Rosedale courthouse, and this is Bolivar County's second brick courthouse, which stood here 1889 to 1923 when the foundation gave way to flood seep water. The first brick courthouse at Prentice was destroyed in 1862 by Federals and later covered by Mississippi waters. So this is the current county courthouse here in Bolivar County, more specifically Rosedale, and it did undergo renovation in 2012. And check this out. This marker right here symbolizes Bolivar County's courthouse. This is the first courthouse in Rosedale. It was built here in 1889 after the first one in Prentice burned in the Civil War and was covered by the Mississippi River in the 1870s. The current building was designed by the architectural firm of Kramer and Lindsley of Jackson and was built from 1922 to 1924. Which features a clock donated by Florence Sillers in 1975. It was designated a Mississippi landmark in 1985 and is listed in the National Register of Historic Places. Building was restored in 2012. So you see that over here. I'm gonna go over here across the street. Now over here, as you can see, a lot of these buildings have been shuttered, and this one's boarded up right here. But this was at one point in time an establishment called the Valley Bank. And if you look across the street, they have a park called Court Square, Frankly Lawley Court Square. But they do have some construction going on over on this side. Not sure what they're constructing, but a lot of buildings over here. A lot of these establishments, these storefronts have been closed. Again, this points out to the economic downturn in Rosedale and a lot of other cities and towns in the Delta. This looks like the municipal building of Rosedale right here. Wow, this used to be a pharmacy called Lewis Pharmacy, established in 1922. So it's completely abandoned. And check this out. It's another abandoned building over there. That'll actually be good for like a little, this could actually be converted into a barber shop. I don't know if the city's gonna put it up for sale, but this would be a good place to build, well, maybe not a barber shop, probably more like a, I don't know, this could be a multi-unit apartment building or something. Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe a multi-level bookstore, perhaps even a library, maybe a library, I don't know. What do you guys think in the comment section? What do you think would be a good use for that building right there? This used to be a furniture store, it looks like. It even has the 3-piece bedroom set advertisement painted on the side of it. And of course, no trespassing, private property. But I wonder, like, again, if there's ever any type of investment that's going to be made over here, if there's any investors that'll come in, like, what would they turn these buildings into? What do you think would be good to boost the economy in this area? What type of businesses and jobs does they bring to the area? Very, very interesting question. You know, inquiring minds would like to know. This used to be, it says the venue by Sister Butler. So I guess this place used to host events or something, perhaps. Wow. Even this used to be a supermarket. It's closed. That's crazy. Child supermarket. No, maybe it's not closed. Well, it's closed now. Wow. It's closed. That's crazy. I have a gas station right there. Bostic Brothers. Rosedale Volunteer Fire Department. Like this right here is called the White Front Cafe. And check out this marker right here, Hot Tamales in the Blues. In his 1936 recording, They're Red Hot, bluesman Robert Johnson employed the imagery of a tamale vendor to describe a woman. Made of cornmeal and meat, the tamale was a staple in the diet of Mexican migrant laborers in the Delta, and some became a popular item of local cuisine. Some historians maintain that U.S. soldiers brought tamale recipes home with them from the Mexican-American War, or that tamales date back to indigenous American Indian cultures. So the hot tamales go back way beyond Mexican culture, because that's always what I've always associated with the hot tamales, it just being a Mexican dish. And this is just a history. Hot tamales may seem an odd food to encounter in the Mississippi Delta. Yeah, because we're used to catfish and soul food, but their presence reflects the region's cultural diversity. Hundreds of years ago, local Native Americans prepared a tamale-like dish of maize cooked in corn husks, and in the late 18th and early 19th century, culinary traditions of Anglo and African Americans in the Delta were complemented by the foodways of new immigrants of Lebanese, Chinese, and Italian origin. By the 1920s, many African American agricultural workers had left the Delta for points north, and planters responded by recruiting Mexican laborers who generally stayed only through the harvesting season. Another wave of Mexican migration to the Delta came with the onset of World War II, when the federal government started the Bracero program to regulate and address labor shortages resulting from many local workers being drafted or moving north to wartime industry jobs. So yeah, they had to keep the industry moving. They had to, it was a lot of people moving, specifically African Americans. They were participating in the 1920s in the Great Migration. So many of them were leaving the area, so they had to replace them. So they had to recruit Mexican laborers. And yeah, there they go, right here. Here's back in the day. A Mexican boy plays guitar on the steps of the railway station where Mexican families lived during the cotton picking season on the Knowlton plantation in Perthshire. Wow, so they were bought here just on a seasonal basis just to harvest crops. That's interesting. Delta night spots such as Dover's Place and Helena, shown here in 1939, catered to both Mexicans and African Americans. And you have the son of migrant farm workers, accordionist Valerio Longoria, was born in Clarksdale in 1924 and became a major innovator in conjunto music in South Texas. And there goes Valerio Longoria, a Texas conjunto pioneer. Okay, that's really dope. That's pretty dope. He's an accordionist. I got to check him out. Valerio Longoria. And yeah, right here you had the the vendor right there, the Coca-Cola vendors, the black man, and the Mexicans. Hot tamales, and they're red hot. Yes, she got them for sale. Yes, she got them for sale. Yes, yes. Hot tamales, and they're red hot. Yes, she got them for sale. And this is this looks like a song by Robert Johnson called They're Red Hot. Now, I don't know if I was right with the cadence, but you also have Barbara Pate. You took over Joe's Hot Tamale Place, aka the White Front Cafe, in 2004. Okay. Very interesting history right here on this here marker. White Front Cafe, historical landmark right here in Rosedale. I felt a couple of raindrops, so it might be, these clouds are real heavy, so it might be a little rain coming soon. So I'm gonna wrap the Rosedale video up shortly. But I didn't know it was a lot of Mexican farmers in Rosedale or in Mississippi in general, in the Delta, you know, back during that time. But they came here basically just to replace the labor force that, you know, a lot of African Americans, like I said, great migration. They migrated from down south up to those wartime industry jobs up north in the Midwest. So, you know, they had to fill the agricultural workforce void at some point. And check this out. More abandoned buildings. This used to be a variety shop. Yep, and that will end the Rosedale video. So this concludes the vlog in Rosedale, Mississippi. I'd like to thank everybody who tuned in to this video. And if you stayed long enough, make sure you hit the like button. Also, if you're new to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button along with the notification bell. That way you get notified each and every time I drop a new vlog. So this concludes the part 1 of my Mississippi Delta trip, Mississippi Delta road trip, if you will. So this is only part 1. I'm gonna do another Mississippi Delta road trip in the future. There are a few cities and towns that I didn't cover on this one, but I will cover on the next one, next time I'm out in the Delta. So yeah. So until then, guys, peace out, take care, have a great evening.